As we continue to look back at maybe the greatest NBA regular season ever, even though it won't top his unanimous MVP campaign he had last year, Steph Curry's played some great basketball this season. No surprise, leads the NBA, 319 threes this season, standing as the only player in NBA history with multiple seasons hitting at least 300 triples. And Curry shooting from distance, long range, really continues to evolve the game. He's made an NBA-leading 13 shots from 30 or more feet out this season, 5 more than the next closest player in Damian Lillard. Marcus Thompson, who wrote a book on Steph Curry, recently said this to Fox Sports Radio about Curry's relationship with LeBron, Chris Paul, and Russell Westbrook, and Steph's dramatic rise to fame, saying, quote, generally, I think it was all so sudden. Curry leapfrogged a whole lot of people. There's a whole lot of people who never got the adoration Steph gets. They don't like that. Players who were probably Hall of Famers were saying, nobody ever anointed me like this. Marcus Thompson, the author of The Miraculous Rise of Steph Curry. First take, Stephen A. Smith joining us now here on SportsCenter AM. Stephen A., how would you describe Steph Curry's relationship among the game's best players, these superstars?
Well, they have profound respect for him. They have no choice. He's got mad skills. Everybody knows that he's probably the greatest shooter that we've ever seen. And the players, his contemporaries in the league, definitely respect that. And they certainly never had anything against him personally, because if you know anything about Steph Curry, he's class personified. He's one of the nicest dudes that you'd ever see in professional sports. If you had a problem with him, it wasn't with him personally. It was the way that he was celebrated, to the degree that he was celebrated over the last couple of years, because all of those guys that were mentioned, Kevin, they've gone through their share of scrutiny, not just because of their level of play or lack thereof, but because of their demeanor on the court, their facial expressions, their body language, the manner in which they chose and elected to communicate with the media, et cetera, et cetera. But with Steph Curry, not only was he the babyface assassin, he never looks angry. He always looks pleasant. He's always got a pleasant and personable mentality towards connected to himself. Then you combine that with the beautiful wife and the family, his father who starred in the NBA and who his parents are and what have you. It just seemed that he came across as untouchable. And anytime you're an individual that's deemed untouchable, there are going to be other contemporaries within the league that have a problem with that, because they want you, even though they don't wish any harm upon you, they want you to go through the same kind of scrutiny that they go through towards elevating yourself and your brand to exponential levels. Now, that's what they want.
I hear where you're coming from to a certain extent, that a lot of it's from the media, a lot of it's from fans showing up at arenas, and how Steph is adored by young kids and how that's perceived. But when you look at Steph coming into the league, he looked at LeBron as kind of a mentor here in this situation. And this is not specifically just LeBron. I'm saying Westbrook, Chris Paul, a lot of other stars. Is this about jealousy as well?
It's not about jealousy. It really isn't. What I'm saying is that when a player is viewed or deemed untouchable, somebody that isn't deemed in that fashion is going to have a problem with it. If you are a LeBron James, you have no problem with Steph Curry as a person, as an individual, certainly not as a man. I mean, LeBron is a family man. He's married. He's got beautiful children. He's got a strong family foundation that he's built himself along with his lovely wife. You can't begrudge Steph Curry for doing the same thing. And that's certainly not something that LeBron or any of the other stars for that matter would ever do. But from a media perspective, from a public persona, when you go through the kind of scrutiny that, let's say, so in this case, LeBron has endured throughout his career, while you consistently going about the business of establishing yourself as the greatest player in the world year after year after year, and everybody seems to find something wrong with you, but this dude passes gas and they call it perfume, you're going to have a problem with that. That doesn't mean that you're talking about Steph Curry, but you are looking at the scrutiny that he's receiving from those outside of himself, and you're saying, wait a minute here, there's a level of inconsistency that comes with this. If that were me, I certainly would be more scrutinized. It's amazing that this dude has gotten a pass. That's what you're thinking about when you bring up the issue of jealousy. It's certainly not anything towards Steph Curry. Steph Curry's a wonderful dude, and he's a fantastic player, and all the players in the league know it. But if one dude is getting away with being exposed to that scrutiny while various others are subjected to it ad nauseum, you're going to have a problem with that without having a problem with the player himself.
And Steph had something LeBron wanted, that MVP as well as the finals and the championship, and LeBron took it away. And I'd like to go on record, I would never call it perfume, Stephen A. So just so we know that.
Most people would when it comes to Steph Curry. If he passed gas, they'll say it's perfume.
Not
the
here.
Truth.
You don't get it here, all right?
I got you.
Stephen A., thank you. Top of the hour, ESPN's First Take.